Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a little bit more of our crochet tutorials. We're going to be talking about how to do a basic granny square. Now, to start a granny square, we're going to do our basic magic ring, which I do have all of the videos that I'm going to be talking about. I've already talked about in this playlist before, and I will link them down below. So we're going to start with our magic ring. And a lot of people will, instead of doing what I'll show you here in a minute, they'll just do 3 chains, and that's going to act as their very first double crochet. So then they'll put 2 more double crochets into the magic ring itself. So here's going to be 1 and 2. Now with that little chain cluster, that is going to be your 3 double crochets. What I like to do is I like to do the chainless one, which I have talked about before. Like I said, I'll link that down below. I don't like the way that using chains looks personally. I think the way that I do them, it looks a little bit too loose for me, and I enjoy this method a lot better. So we're going to do a single crochet, and then into that single crochet, you do 1 more single crochet, if I can keep my hook in there. So there we go. That's going to be our 1 double crochet, and then we're going to put our 2 more double crochets into the magic ring. 1, so that'll be 2, and this will be 3. So there is going to be your first cluster of 3 double crochets, and then you can push that around and tighten it however you need to. You can start to tighten your magic ring if you want to. At this point, we're going to do 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into the magic ring. So 1, here's going to be 2, and then here's 3. So here we have 6 double crochets with 3 chains inside of our magic ring. We're going to do 3 more chains. 1, 2, 3. And then here we're going to do 3 more double crochets. At the end of this, it's going to look a little bit like a cross or an X, a T, however you're holding it. Okay. At this point, we're going to have 3 clusters of 3 double crochets. We're going to do another 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do our last bit of 3 double crochet clusters. 1, here is 2, and here is 3. So here are our little double crochet clusters all inside of our magic ring. You can tighten that bit up if you want to. And then we're going to do our last 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to slip stitch into this first double crochet. Okay. And here we've got our basic square. That's your base. At this point, you can switch to another color you want if you want to. You can keep this color, however many colors you want in this project, however big you want. It's completely up to you. If you are sticking with the same color, the way I like to continue is just right back into this corner piece here. I like to single crochet and then do 1 more single crochet into that. Boop. So this is my chainless double crochet here to start with. So that's going to be 1 double crochet right back into that corner. We're going to do another double crochet and 1 more. Excuse me. So there is going to be 3 double crochets into this corner piece. If you want to, if you like the look of it, you can do a single chain, and then we're going to jump right back on into the next corner, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now in that corner, we have 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And in this very same double crochet corner, we're going to put 3 more double crochets in a double crochet corner. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Okay, there's 2, and here's 3. So now in our corner here, we have 6 double crochets with 3 chains. So that's going to make up our next corner of the next round. And then if you like the look of it, you can do a chain, 1 single chain. Then going into the next corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So there's your first set in that corner. Go ahead and do another 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And then do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now we've got 1 little cluster of double crochets in this corner. This corner is done. It's got its 2 clusters of 3 double crochet with its 3 chain. You've got a blank spot. And then in the next corner, you've got 2 clusters of double crochets of 3 with 3 chains. Now we're going to do either our single chain, or you can skip the chain too and just go right into the next corner and do 1 cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. There's your cluster. And then we're going to do our 3 chains to make that corner. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do another cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So that corner is now done. So we've got our 3 corners done with our 2 clusters of 3 double crochets and 3 chains. Now we're going to do either skip the chain or do your 1 single chain, and then go into that last corner that only has 1 cluster, and we're only going to do 1 cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now at this point, you've got 2 clusters of 3 double crochets. You're just going to do 3 chains, 2 and 3, and then slip stitch into that very first double crochet. So now at this point, you've got all 4 corners with 3 double crochets, two sets of 3 double crochet clusters, 3 chains. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners with 1, 2, 3, 4 single blank spots. So in each of these corners, you're going to do 2 clusters of 3 double crochets. So there's going to end up being 6 double crochets in all of these corners. And then in these ones, you're just going to do 1 cluster of double crochets. So at this point, you can either switch colors or you can continue on with the same colors. Go ahead and do 1. This will be our chainless double crochet here as a substitution. So here's going to be 2 and 3. So then in this spot here, you only put 1 cluster. 1, 2, and 3. And then you move on. So you can do your chain, and then you're going to be going into your corner here. So then you're going to do two clusters of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3 with your 3 chains. 1, 2, 1 more cluster. 1, 2, and 3. So now you've got your corner, and then we're going right back into the one that only has 1 cluster. You're going to chain, and then you're only going to do 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go ahead and do our chain. We're going back into our corner, so it's going to be another cluster of 6. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, or a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Pull up some yarn. And then we're going back into our single one, so we're going to chain 1 single cluster of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to move on to our corner. So we're going to do 1 chain and then 1 cluster of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Another cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. There we've got our corners. We're going to do another chain and then 1 single cluster into that center there. 1, 2, and 3. One single chain here, and then we're going to do just 3 double crochets at this point. 1, 2, and 3. And then here we're at the beginning again, so go ahead and do your 3 chains and then slip stitch into that very first double crochet. And there's your basic for a granny square here. So in your corners, they will always have 6 clusters, or it'll be 2 clusters of 3 double crochets. So it'll be 6 double crochet total in all of the corners with your 3 chains to make that little turn. And then each of these little blank spots in the center, they will only get 3 total double crochets. And then you can change your color as many times as you want or as little as you want to make it as big as you want. And that's all we got. And there you have it, folks. That's how you do a basic granny square. Now for this, you can do everything from just pot holders all the way up to cardigans, blankets, loveys, all sorts of different things. I hope you learned some things from this video. Let me know down below, and happy crocheting.